How's it going, folks? How's it going today? Hello, MBEware. Hello, Isaac, and hello, Dimitri. How has your day been? What's going on in your life? For me, I've had just a little bit of time to work on the project. So there's some updates since last night, and we're gonna be able to delve a bit into it. So it's going to be fun. I completely forgot to repost this in Discord, so we're going to do it right away. All right. My daughter moved my screen, so now I'm like trying to see the part that is hidden by one of the screens. We'll survive, we'll survive. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's get started on everything. Are you using a Flatpak? No. I have no Flatpak on my machine. Zero. At least I don't remember installing anything with Flatpak. Okay, let's get our things set up. I'm gonna be able to do a little presentation showing the change. Good boy. We got into a snap Flatpak and all of these things debate, right? It was with Volt, I think. So, yeah, that's a touchy subject. That's a touchy subject. Alright. Let's open up a terminal and have a look at the new thing. Not that. Alright. So I've cleaned some things, and now we've got a few more things on the display, and a few more things integrated. So last video, there was a couple of things that we managed to do. So we had an issue where if we had inside of a struct, so this is like the start of a struct, inside of a struct, there would have, of course, field members, field declarations. So this, for example, is a char, I think, and this is a struct address. So that's a struct inside of a struct. The problem is when that happened, it would kind of be impossible to know if what followed was part of the struct or if it wasn't. So we fixed that at the very end of the last stream. So that's great. What I did is only draw it in a more, well, in a better way, so it's more readable. And I also added the parsing error from Syndex, so from clang, from the library that we're using, just so we have an idea of what the hell is going on that side. And at the top we have the same output as we had before, just for debugging. So that's already pretty great. Now, we're kind of hitting some issues that we're going to have to fix today. So that's going to be a hard one, but let's keep the optimism. You are dedicated. Yes, my friend. I don't give up. That's the thing that you can say, and either makes you the biggest rapist, or like the most dedicated person ever. But I do not take no for an answer. In the good way, okay? In the good way. So, we ain't stopping. Alright. So now it's just a little bit easier to see, right? So we have our little print loop that does the print thingy where it whoop, whoop, like this. So it's all fun, it's readable, okay? That's the fun thing. So the big magic thing that we found was, where's the command? It's over here. Was this magical thing. So kid.type.getPointy, get declaration, .spelling. So this is just a way to know who's the daddy, okay? Who's the parent of whatever we're scanning. So if it's a field declare that winds back to the prior struct, that means that it is, well, the struct itself. So it's not an int, it's not a type def, it's not something else, it's just part of the prior struct. So that was fun. That was something that we did. So let's get into the issue, okay? The issue for today, the big thing. Did I set my camera correctly? Yes, okay, phew. Okay. So the issue here is the way that I've designed everything, that I've designed the whole system, is that when we scan through the kernel, when we scan through the files, it is done one file at a time, and it can only be done in that way. The big reason is I want whatever I'm doing to be multi-threaded, right? I want multiple cores to be able to work on it. So I made all of the implementation on the DB side so that we have an optimized way to query the DB, to add things to the DB without any weird things because of the multi-threading. So that's all done. That's all good. But this system still limits us to only be able to see what we're doing right now on that file while parsing in multi-threading mode. So the issue that we're having here is that whenever we parse a file, let's pop up a file and let's speak about it. I'm sure I can find the file we had yesterday. I guess not. Wait a minute, I'll go find the file. So let's take an include file for example, right? So here we have an include file. So as you can see, we have some include at the top of our include file. Now the issue comes when we declare things like this. So here we have a struct file. How do we know how this struct file is defined? And the bigger issue, how do we set that information in the DB? Because right now, we can only look at this file. Well, technically we can look at other files, but we cannot tell them to set something in a way. I don't know if I'm clear in the way that I'm describing this. I hope it's understandable. So here the core issue is if we have includes, we're a little fucked. Because, well, this is where the multi-threading fails. So there's a lot of ways to fix this issue. The number one solution would be to do what I was doing before. So before, when I needed to put something that might overlap with another file, what I would do is I would just scan it, put that thing inside of the DB, and the DB, the way that I implemented it, would see the overlap and fuse the two into one thing so that there's no overlap. So I could just fix this by finding where struct file is defined and setting it, and then editing the DB so that it takes out that overlap. So that's something that I can do. Now my issue here, there's two big issues. Number one is I'm scanning twice or even more than that, right? Because I'm going to need to scan through a whole bunch of shit in order to do this. And it will probably be pretty complex because at sometimes, well, macros come into it and a bunch of weird stuff come into it. A bunch of stuff that I don't want to mess with, at least not now. So this is not a solution that I like. I don't like the idea of us going to scan the include to only be able to output the result for this file and then having to find whatever duplicate and smash them together. That's not, I don't like that. Next solution, second solution here, would be to only scan this file. Of course, we already take note of the include. That's already something that's done. So we have the information about the include. And we add a step afterward where we go through the include in the same order as the compiler. We find where struct file would be defined. And we just link it at that time. Right, so we add a step at the very end when we are back in single core instead of doing it in multi-core, right? We wait on single core and then do that linking at the very end. I think that's the way to go. And we could maybe leverage some optimized technology from the DB because I could technically shove the include into the DB and use some real SQL to get my answer, which would most likely be way the F faster. So those are solutions, right? Because when I use the include at the end, I know how to do things in order and link everything together. That could work. Or at the very end, I could make sure to process everything into the DB. When I send my stuff into the DB, I could make sure to do things in the order of the include. So if you have an include, you do it first, and after that you go down your list, so that we would be able to get the information directly from the DB. Those are all valid solutions. Hi MBWare. I was explaining, but I'll probably re-explain 500 times what we're doing today. Yeah, I sent you a copy of the code if you wanted to look at it. But now we've got a cleaner output. So this is the struct we were looking at yesterday, and we had all of the issues, but now I've made a little output for it, so it looks great. We have the parser error also that are defined here, and we have the prior output that we had before. So that's all done, and I know it's badly named, but it's somewhere in the middle of the file, okay, that you've got to look. It's AST type, okay? Search for AST type. Alright. So I don't know for how long you were in here. I expect 5 seconds, so I'll just re-explain very quick. But right now, the issue I want to look at today is the fact that some structs will be defined inside of included file, so it kind of messes with the multi-threading system that I had before. Oh, I was meaning not if you're here for the whole stream, but if you were here in the past, for the whole explaining. But anyway. All right, no issue. So okay, so how do we fix this? Okay. I appreciate your summary. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, sorry if I'm hitting you, okay? So to make everything make sense, I think a slight explanation of how the DB works is in order, okay? So the way that it works is the DB, whenever we do everything, okay, 99% of things, we're not actually sending things to the SQL. Okay, we never communicate to SQL. The only time we communicate with SQL is at the very end, okay, when we insert all at the end. But everything else is done locally in Python in my version of the DB in Python. So this specific DB is how we make sure that there is no duplicate, is how we're able to multi-thread things without knowing the ID and injecting the ID afterwards. To be more precise in the way that we do this, we just put commands into an array. So let's look at a simple new file just to make it make sense, right? So whenever we need to add a file, we have our arrays. So that's the array, that's CS. So we create a new CS array, we add onto it, we're going to, of course, create or set or need to have the ID for this file name. So we do get set, and then we can tell it, okay, so we need to set the name to this value. So maybe it's convoluted for you, but to me, this is like very readable, and the design is very human, okay? That's how it feels for me. So what it is, or more precisely, where the table we're setting, what we're doing, so this is a get set, that means if it exists in the past, get it, if not, set it, and then it will put it inside of the array. And then we can do reference to prior things in the array, right? So here we're... Shit. Do we have a read-only with this? It would help so much. Read-only mode. Oh, okay. That's great. So, don't you change color on me, you little bitch. Okay, good. So, here we have the table mfile, which store the individual moment of a file when a file doesn't change. So here we have none. That means that it will set the ID itself, so we don't care about which ID it has, right? That's the time when this thing exists. That's, of course, the type. Then how the file was added, which it was added by being added, not modified or something. And this is when it was deleted, which is 0 because it's not deleted yet. So, right. So we put these information into the array, and then we can get to some place into the array. For example, here we have bridge file. Well, bridge file, what it will do is it will make a reference. The X is a reference to number 0 of our CS array. So it will reference this result, and then take the file name ID, which is, of course, will be a result of that. So then we can put the FNID, the file name ID, at this position. So this is how we're making everything not an issue whenever we multi-core things, store everything into the array, then in single core, we go through these arrays one by one, and we can reference prior result to be able to process through this in single core and then give IDs to things. So this is how I solve that problem of we don't have the ID in multi-core, and we don't want to seek an ID from one core or a database, because this is extremely slow. In Python, whenever you go outside of Python, and whenever you do something multi-thread, it's just slow as hell. So this is how I solve this, and this is why this is going to be an issue, right? Because this whole design allows me to look within one file, because this CS array is one file. It's only one file. Nothing from other files it can be seen from here. And that's the issue, right? Because we're going to have to look at the result of another file, or at least maybe match 2 times the same thing. Anyway, it's going to be a hard one. So, okay, I hope my explanation was good. Solution. Okay, let's think about solution. The solution is that we should add a new operator, a little bit like the X thing that I made. We should add a new X type thing, a new reference type thing that can go into a specific file, a specific include. And what we can do from that is, instead of storing those CS array, those instruction in the CS array, we could maybe store the CS themselves in dictionaries. So then we could give the dictionary the actual file names that we're processing, so we could go see the result from another file, right? Because at this point, we can just look within the dictionary, has this thing been processed? If not, process it, then return the result. And because it's done into single core, at that time, it would be okay. So that could be a solution for it. But even then, it's a little bit hard. Because I don't know the capabilities of the parser itself, right? I don't know how easy it would be for Syndex to return me where a struct is defined. I tried to do it earlier. I was not able to at all. So that's also an issue that I need to contend with, right? Because if I can just pinpoint in which include this shit is, it's easy, right? Because I can just say, okay, whenever you process this, go ask that file for what this tag is. So you need to, try local except read from DB when it isn't found. When you would have the whole kernel, you would have the whole kernel with all versions in RAM. No, I'll add more details. The way that we work right now is we have 2 versions of the kernel in RAM at all time. Maybe the implementation doesn't show this, but this is how it should be. So the RAM disk will contain the current version that we're parsing and the prior version, because we need to compare them sometime. Or maybe if I do the design well enough, we won't have to, but let's just assume that we need to compare them directly. But yes, one whole version of the kernel is always in RAM at least to be processed, so we can access it extremely easily and extremely fast. So parsing a file or referencing a file is not an issue. I thought you only process the changes. We do, but I still store the whole the whole file. The whole kernel, sorry. It just makes sense to me to get the whole kernel, because if we get only the change, then most likely Syndex would break whenever we would query a file about its internal text. Syndex has some ability to know the include of a thing, right? And when I say Syndex, I mean the CLang parser that we're using. So if we go and check, I added this since yesterday, but we have the ability of adding arguments, a little bit like a compiler. So we have -I, and here we're setting the path that we're on. This is pretty much just saying the directory that the file is in, along with the include, of the kernel itself. I read a lot about CLang and AST since yesterday. It is a freaking world. AST it's good, but it's complicated. And the issue is, even when you know about AST, you still need to know about how to use Python to go get your things, right? And that's my issue currently, is I don't know how to verbalize what I want from Syndex, from the Python implementation of CLang's AST. AST is this something syntax tree, so it's how the syntax is processed by the compiler, pretty much. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about AST. But yeah, the AST part for now we can put on hold, right? We need to have an answer to how do we... Well, no, sorry, I'm lying. We can 99% put on hold. We need one thing from the AST right now, and it's to know the include of a struct. So that's what I was trying to do. So remember this, right? So we have that that struct socket address. How do we know where this is defined, right? So that's kind of an hard thing to get. My reflex would have been to create wrapper easy to use for the function I need instead of fighting with the whole thing. That's... Well, do you mean for AST? Because for AST, I need to fight with the old thing, with the whole thing, because it is like the #1 tool that we're going to be using, and we're going to abuse it, right? Because right now we're filtering through structs, but tomorrow is going to be functions, and the day after we're going to like try to understand what a specific union mean inside of a struct, right? So all of these things are going to come up, and our only reasonable tool to achieve this is not going to be a parser that I could cook up. It's going to be Syndex, at least unless there is some like grave failure where Syndex doesn't work at all. I'm going to use that, right? The CLang devs know way more than I do. So we should probably get back to... our first thing would be to try to pinpoint with Syndex if we see a specific struct, we would need to pinpoint where it is in the include, if Syndex is able to get us that information. I didn't see it like that. It seems that you take a good approach. Well, I failed so much time, so we gotta get them there somehow, right? What's the meme about the American, right? What we can trust the American on doing is doing the they will end up doing the right thing, right? End up, but anyway, if it's the last thing they do. Okay. What you doing? We're working on KernelInfo, which is a little project we're cooking up. We're parsing the kernel, and through the parsing of the kernel, we're shoving everything into a database, and this database is going to be used to make cool website with it. So we're just trying to make cooler things than what already exists. But for now, parsing is the issue. So we're parsing structs, and we're trying to see where a specific struct comes from. So if I want to be precise, we're looking exactly at that file, and we're trying to determine in which file struct socket address is defined, right? So we would need a CLang Syndex solution to this, and we're working in Python. So yeah, that's the thing. We can probably see what the answer is. So somehow, okay, that's another thing. We're going to have jumps, right? Because it is defined inside of include linux socket.h, and none of our include right now are that. So it's probably like way down the tree. We're going to find this. Oh man. That's going to be cancer. Oh, it's probably NFS that has this include. Maybe. That's going to be a hard one. Oh. Was that it? Sorry, my brain just died on that. Socket.h. Okay, how do we find socket.h from here? So this, fs maybe? Types? No. Alright, this is going to be an hard one if I'm not even able to read through it. So we need to recursively go through includes or something. Or again, maybe I don't even need to do this and Syndex will be able to vomit the answer. That's my issue now. Right? I need Syndex to find it for me if possible. That would fix everything. Because if we can have the file where the definition is, then I just implement the system when where we put the result of a given file inside of a dictionary, we reference the dictionary, and we're solved. So, okay, let's put back the music. Not that one. We're not cooking hard enough today. Later, okay? So, let's get into trying to get Syndex to do what we want. In your dictionary, wouldn't that be the key? Yes, the idea would be that the key would be the file name. So whenever we would... Let me just go back to the code to show it, right? So when we're processing, when we're in our multi-core system, we would be, instead of dumping CS, which is current set, that's what it's there for. Instead of dumping the current set into a bigger set, we could dump it into a dictionary, which is key is the file name. So that way we could tag it and go get the information from it. So it's not that hard to do, right? Yup. I'm just trying to see if I have any oversight in what I'm saying, but it's good that you're saying things. It makes me think a lot. I'll try to focus on Syndex a bit. If you have any question, don't stop. I love them. It's just that I need to find how we're getting through this. Oh man, there's a lot of question in play here. Like there is one of the questions that I have for Syndex. Well, no, I don't have that question. I think I answered myself. I tried to this was one of the attempt, but I tried to get the declaration or the definition of a struct. It wasn't working. It would always return none. So my idea is that it might be that whenever we pop up a translation unit and that we parse something, we're actually like not recursively going through the whole thing, right? We're only parsing one file out of context. And now that I've said the include, we're parsing one file with limited include. But when we're in a system like the one that we have right now, limited include is not enough to get to whatever the hell this is included in, right? Socket, because even I wasn't able to like find it in here, right? There's no include that links this to this, but it's probably possible if we go through the code enough. Syndex. When I say Syndex, it's with a C. When I'm talking about Syndex, if you write Syndex Python, you'll get it. Well, that's the source code, but whenever we're talking about libclang is another name for it. I think it's the same thing. But yeah, that's the implementation of clang, of the technologies behind the compiler to parse the text inside of Python that allows you to do a bunch of cool things with it. What are the normal time and dates of your stream? Each and every day, and 6:30. Normally I start a couple of minutes early. Today I was maybe a bit on the later side. MBWare. Technically, the SQL is running. MySQL is running on the same server. It's just that here we're time zone. It's Eastern time. We're more optimized than that already. Okay, so as soon as you're talking about connecting to a database, you've lost, because Python internally is faster than us asking a database something. This is just a Python thing. I don't know why it is, but it's SQLite and RAM is not the same thing. Is this a purely Python concept, or are we connecting to another application to an SQLite server? Is the SQLite server inside of Python? That's pretty much what I'm asking. Not the implementation, but really the server itself, not just the communication, right? Because if you're saying the communicate is just the communication, it doesn't work. It's slower. Am I missing something? Is SQLite isn't that like MySQL? It's just another engine for the same thing? No? No? Okay, I'm a dumb fuck then. Maybe I could re-implement the backend with that. Right now we're using a bunch of tuples and shit. It works. But yes, maybe I could, when stepping things up, maybe I should redo the backend with SQLite. I think I understand why you're saying that. But right now we're doing well with tuples and dictionaries. I truly thought that SQLite was just like MySQL, just another server. But you're right. It's a small implementation that's a library. Not for the whole thing, just for the dictionary, so that you can search not only with the file name. I don't need more. That's. I understand what you're saying, but I already cooked up something, so it doesn't need rework. I can show you how it's done. It's not glorious. Like I said, we can redo that later. It's just really not the issue. So I have this thing called generate optimize table that's able to generate a table and use a specific row. Of course, that becomes the name of the dictionary, the key for the dictionary, and get into the right row. It's very simple stuff, okay? And get has a similar thing whenever we have the unique bit set for it. Well, it is a... I don't know. It would be interesting to see when we're... You know what, MBWare? We're going to be awesome, okay? We're going to cook up the most OP optimized thing whenever we get there. We're going to be awesome, okay? But right now, not that this is marginal, but it is not the issue at hand. Let's just put it that way. We need to add features before optimizing what we have, but it's true. I need to keep it in mind. So, okay. Let's think about this. Let's open it so it's not like blinding you. Bing! Okay. All right. Thumbs up. Don't forget to like the video. Okay. Okay, let's just start by trying to be a compiler for 5 seconds. Because I think that maybe we're trying to ask something from Syndex that is impossible. So now let's just narrow our search. Let's think about one thing at a time. If we would be able to know where socket address is defined, defined, it would make things way simpler. Now, can we do this through the include? Right? Because I can see a world. Let's just envision a world for a moment. Could it be plausible that make, when compiling the kernel, looks at the kconfig and will not enable you to use this without having socket enabled, right? Or maybe it would be the other way around because we're in the include folder. So it would be everything that would refer to bind.h would probably, as a prerequisite, already have access to this specific file, to include Linux socket. This is a question that we need to ask, because if this is the case, if this is like a prerequisite for adding this file, then it's useless to ask Syndex, because Syndex will never be able to like look into these and do magical things, right? It won't be possible. So just because I'm forgetting all the time, the name that we need is include Linux socket. Okay, I'll write it down over here because I'm going from boomer memory. Okay, so we need to find a file that includes Linux socket. Let me copy that over. Okay, let's go. How about we search the include itself, right? Or maybe it will ... something. So let's just do socket.h. Okay. So let's search through everything. So this one doesn't have it. Let's go back. Let's look at the next result. This doesn't have anything like that, but we have 3 other include and maybe more. Okay, we have these include. Let's go down these include too, right? We have more. Whoops. Okay. I'm searching. I know that you cannot see because there's my camera, but I'm doing the search function. I just want to see if there's more includes. Oh, shit. So we have way more include in there. Whoopla. Oh, God. Which thing could get us to socket.h the fastest? Do we have more includes? I don't know, maybe we're doing an impossible task over here. Oh, NFS, no. No. Do we have something that looks at the network? Or, I don't know. Where would sockets be? We're trying to jump the include bridge. I feel like we're playing the most nerdy version of trying to find something from one page of Wikipedia to another. Like you're starting from the Wikipedia for Canada and you're supposed to get to death. it's that feeling right now. I don't know how useful it is if we're going to scroll too hard. Who's pulling up into my freaking driveway? Get away! Get out. Alright. Alright, nothing of use was found. Let's go back to the big list of includes. I don't want to waste my time. But right now, waste is of the essence. Okay. Quota. Yeah, that's for sure retarded what I'm doing. Wait.age. Or is it the type of thing where they're all interconnected? Socket.c. Not sure if I understand where you're going with this. MB where? This file includes socket.h. Yes. Okay, I understand what you mean. What I'm saying is we need to act like Syndex. The information that Syndex has is these 3 includes, right? Syndex can only go about these 3 includes. So what I'm trying to determine is if it's realistic for me to ask Syndex to give me the location of the definition of this, or if it's outside of their bounds, right? Because if these 3 includes never link to this, that means that Linux has this magical capacity of dealing with dealing through kconfigs for this, and we're just dumb. But nice one. Probably some tool like cinclude 2 dot might help. You need to add the include that the file use. Yes. Yes, but those 3 include don't directly give the socket address. Socket address is only defined inside of Linux socket.h. So we need to find how does socket.h link within these, or else I'm dumb. I'll just look into cinclude. See intended to be an original clean house remaking remastering requires using Python script. Sorry, I'm having a hard time understanding, but it's me that's dumb. So what you're telling me is this would be a way to the person that put it in chat. Let me quote you correctly. Source 3R. So where this would be getting at is mapping out all of the includes, and then we could use this to see the relationship, right? So we would start, we would do that at the start, and then we would be able to maybe get our answer. Let me just look at what was already done, I guess. Oh yeah, that's some nice picture. Okay. Okay, there's a PDF. I was a little triggered. Wait. I'm sure I misread something. One module of code to another module. Okay. Okay. Okay, my issue with this... Well, I don't know if it's an issue. I just want to, like, understand. Like, I understand how graphing the include is fun, but in our case, we need to... it's not just graphing the include, but it is graphing the include and finding through it a struct, the definition of a struct, right? So, like, this to me sounds like only the graphing include part, but we still haven't gotten the struct out of it. Or maybe I'm done. Oh, you need to add the include that the file uses. Not to brag, but I wrote a patch for... I got theme working on the... Based. Not bragging. Sophiophil. Yup, just graph. Alright. Alright. Nice try. But it's not going to be enough. Sorry, I'm a little behind live, but don't forget that when you build the kernel, you specifically... Kernel include directories that are available to every file being compiled. Yeah. You need to recursively parse the include from the file you are processing. The only possibilities is that it's either from an include or from kernel build directory. I would like to agree with you, but this syntax would work. Okay, I don't know how far behind you are, Sophiophil, but I'll just cue you in, okay? I'll cue you in. We've done some change to the code, okay? We've done some quick change. Well, before stream, but anyway, okay? So now we have this clean display, and the thing that we debugged yesterday works all really well, okay? So now we have our struct, and I put it inside of the same list so that it's clear that they are related, right? I have the error thingy right here that shows us, well, the error of the of syntax. So that's all fun. But the issue that I'm having right now, okay, to be more precise, and I've cleaned this up a little bit so it looks better. So that's the code that we got to yesterday, right? The issue that I'm having is that it's not possible, at least I'm not able to. It always returns none, no matter if I do type get declaration, get definition, and no matter my use of that, it always returns none when I try to get like the source of a struct. So for example, this thingy, okay, socket address, it always returns none when I mess with it in Syndex. It's not able to tell me where it's from. And I have added the includes, right? So I have the include folder of the kernel that's already linked, and I have the directory that we're in that is all included into it. It's accessible by Syndex, which is the compiler. The issue... Look, there is a simple solution, which is just selecting socket address at the first declaration that we find. It's just that there's a big chance that we end up with a special dumb directory that fucks with us. Like the tool directory might have some weird includes into it, or other directory might have some weird includes that will come and break everything. So that's why I'm trying to find an empirical way of doing this, compiler way of finding where the F we get the information. Yeah, I don't know how much we're going to get. Let me drink a little and think about it. Alright, let's think about this with all of our might and all of our brain. First of all, maybe I need to add another thing, right? So this contraption right here is just there to give us the file path of where we're in, right? Because we're removing the end of file path that has been split on the slash, so we're just doing this, right? We're removing this, okay? It's in read only, so I don't fuck it up. So yeah, we're removing this. That's what this does. So I don't see how this could... Like, this is what we should use as argument on a compiler. I don't know what to say. That works. So... But I think maybe that just doesn't work because kconfig has some magic to it. Let's just roll back. Let's just roll back a bit. Can we know if this file has been referenced like 6,000 times? Is this something that we can do? That would be way too fun. Okay, we're dumb. We're dumb. Let's just ask, okay? Let's just... Isn't there a grep operation for this shit? Like, can't we just do, like, grep-r... this abomination... and get a result? I should have filtered a bit. Okay, we're looking for includes within includes. Okay, that's our spot. Okay, that's our spot. Okay, so everything in net. Nice. Can we look for Linux? Socket. iNet, net. I think those had some links. Ooh, Sun RPC. I think we had that, right? Those look good. Those look good. Okay, let's just copy this over. And let's investigate. What's the meme? This can't be belated. Okay. iNet, SKBuff, net, Sun RPC. Alright. Got a mission. This one was Sun RPC. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. And we're already including this. Include. Okay, that's all we have. Okay, I guess it didn't work. UIO maybe? No? This is the most lack of entertainment stream ever. I'm in. Okay, we're back at the same place. What a dumb... NFS must have something about networks in it. No, we're including nothing. We're just big brains. Oh! Where's your includes? iNet. Oh. No? Okay. Oh, God. FS, maybe? Okay. We've already effed around in this file. If only I had a brain. Dead air. Please. Okay, okay, I'm doing this for nothing. I need to think more and read chat for whatever. Okay, nobody understand me. That's great, that's great. Okay. Okay, let's rethink this. Well, it's a question that I need some answers. Fucking hell, how am I going to get through this? Okay. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let me lay out the question in retard speak. And I need somebody to help me with this one because I don't know if I'm going to be able to think about a freaking solution, okay? How do we know that struct sock address is defined in here? I know that Bootlin doesn't know. It doesn't have the answer, because if I click on anything in this, it will tell you, oh, it's defined at 1600 place. It's here and here. Who knows? But like, how would we know that we're talking about this one? Like, obviously we're talking about this one. We know that when we're talking about file, we're talking about linuxfs.h and not whatever is inside of script. How do we get to that result? Do we like priority this? Like we parse all of the include, assume that whatever is within the include works for everything unless it's within the same directory? Would that be the only solution here? Because that sounds so inelegant. You toss a coin. Sounds like it. God. Like that's why I'm fiddling around with the include. I want to know if there's a link. Or if I'm asking an impossible task from Syndex to even know. Right? And the problem is, if I need to hard code the whole include into Syndex, and not just do what I already did, right? Not just do this, but like pinpoint all the directories inside of include. Then it's of no value because Syndex is just guessing as well. You use the first time it is defined. Both won't be loaded at the same time. I agree. I agree with all this. The problem is that there's no, like, obviously I can say, oh, if you find it in the include, then assume that it's good. I just it sounds like the most prone to error way to write something, right? Because there are scripts in the kernel. Yup. And it's kind of triggering, but the no, it will crash. Okay. I was thinking about just commenting out everything I've done since the last week and running the DB just to put all the includes into the DB and then querying them. But if I ask MySQL to go through them, it's going to kill itself because it will loop. So why not just do an include trace now and then reverse engineer how the import would happen? Okay, here's my issue, okay? Here's why I'm stressed about it. I'm stressed about it because this include trace, okay, is going to take me probably way too long. And what's going to happen is we're going to discover that the kernel has this magical capacity with the makefile to hate you and to compile things in a weird way where it doesn't really follow the order inside of includes and shit, and it just does its thing. And if that's the case, after putting all the work to follow the include, and I'll kill myself. Just putting it out there. Alright, we're following the includes. Alright. Okay. Okay. I meant the compiler driven include trace. And that's a thing? Oh god. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean by include trace. Is there a tool that can tell me where my struct come from? Pre-pro. Trace include path. Which header I included? Okay. Yeah, but it's never going to be able to execute on a .h file, no? Right, so I couldn't... let's just think about this, right? Let's think. Right, I couldn't do this. You cannot keep getting away with this! Okay. Like, this is not a valid thing, okay? No. That's not the type of error that I that I expected to see. What the fuck? There's no, it's like this, right? That's way too good. What? Okay. And the SM is because of the is because it wants us to set an architecture, right? So we should x86, and then we have a new include in there, right? That's the idea. Oh, whoops. Or no, I'm dumb. I shouldn't use x86. I should use include. Please include SM generic. Or no. Like IDA. I'll look into it. But that should probably be... Okay, maybe IDA is a bit strong. Like it's a disassembler. We're going a bit too far. Like, this... I feel like we're probably on the right track if we're talking about GCC. That's where I would expect to find it. What I'm confused here is where does it expect asm bug.h? Well, let's take a look. Maybe it's Linux. No. Oh, I need to rename Assam generic. Oh. Hey. I'm not playing games. Okay. Okay, I get it. I kinda don't want to. Is there a way to bypass this? To tell it that Assam is Assam generic? Can we... Because if my solution is modifying the source code, it's kinda dumb. Well, not modifying the source code, but modifying the files. The thing I want to do is probably retarded. Yes, it is retarded. Okay, let's stop being dumb. That's a thing that exists, right? And what's the order of this? Like, that's a thing, right? Did I just screw myself? Okay. Oh, it moved. Okay. But it... Oh. Sorry. It didn't move. That's because my link is probably shit. Okay, okay. Okay, that's a dumb link. Oh, that's good. Well, yeah, it already exists. Okay, okay. We're cooking a bit more. Okay, that's a bit... Okay, we need to be smart here, okay? Less, maybe? Alright. You don't tell me that you don't get page up, okay? I don't know how to use this shit. There's no way. Okay, I'll kill myself. That's great, that's great. Let's read. Dumb question, but have you done make prepare before the trace, right? I feel like I'm just I'm setting myself up to, like, screw this big time. Also include kernel, okay. Okay, include... Some generic is there for that. Pipe to a file. And use Vim. Yeah, that's where I was going to. I just thought that we would have a non-dumb solution, but guess what? I hate myself. No, that's not how we do it. How do we do it? It's like cat. Is that... No. That's probably not it. I'm the guy that makes videos about this shit. Can I do this? Is this a valid thing? No? Okay. Wait, it's so dumb. It's easy to do, okay? Why? Why is it hard today? What's... I've never used this a day in my life. Come on. That cannot be true. Come on, what the fuck is this? I don't even know what T does. I'm so confused. Oh my god, it wants to kill me, okay? It wants to kill me. And just... this should work, okay? Why? This... Is it because we're sending, like, errors and I need to do the, oh, that's it. That... Look at this, look at this. It's going to fucking work. It's not. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Ah, we got it. That's so bad. Okay. We in. We back, boys. Okay. Thanks for trying to help me, okay? We need a way to clear these dumb errors, okay? That's our issue. But just before... Okay, we're trying to find socket. A, I did not do that. My theory is getting closer to the truth. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, stop with the dumb errors. Get to the bottom, okay? Thread info. I feel that we've just demonstrated that there are some dumb magic that probably the make file inside of the on the kernel does. which would make whatever the hell we're doing right now not a good idea. Like, maybe the only solution is just to parse every single file, especially in the include, and make the link afterwards. Like, leave a none. Like, and then just try to search through the include. We're going to have to do what I said earlier, searching through the directory that we're in, then searching through the include, and just guessing. It's so disgusting. I feel like I've committed a war crime just thinking about that. There's no way that... Yes, there's a way. Like, the Linux kernel is clearly not meant to be, like, started like this. To be read like this. And that's our issue. Let me just check another thing out. Yeah, for this one? No, but... my friend... we could search a little bit, and we're going to hate ourselves later, okay? This is where precision is going to die, and we're going to look at this, and we're going to be like, oh, like, okay, maybe that's not a great thing. Type this is where our brain will leak, okay? Let's find a struct. Like, we're going to find something that exists 1500 times in the kernel. Like this type of a crime, right? Like, we're starting here, okay? We're starting to look dumb. Oh, it's inside a C. I don't know. How long is it going? Going on for an hour and a half. We're doing good, we're doing good. Okay, so we're just, yeah, we're just implementing the thing that I'm talking about. So we're you know what, this is going to be the only way, right? We're going to have to, whenever we look at this thing, if our file is in here, and we have a directory, and we have a subdirectory, we're going to check whatever directory that we're in. Then we're going to check the include, and then we would probably just go through lower directories to find whatever struct we're trying to look at, I guess. Because the compiler will always fail because of some crazy error, so it's not reliable. Syndex is too retarded to go through the tree that the compiler wasn't able to get through, so it's unreliable too. So the only reliability in here is us doing our job. Alright, I'm good with that. The if def you're talking about this part? Lockbind.h. Yeah, that's the thing that we have. Config log v4, but that's only for this. Maybe you meant in socket.h? Not this part of code. Well, kernel underscore. Sounds like the most useless call ever. Anyway. If you trace, you are tracing and I am missing a graph info. It would be coming from kconfig base header. This isn't. D.h trace. It's done properly. It's coming from those. I mean, there's, Look, for now, from all of what you guys have been talking about, there's no other solution, okay? Because there's no clear solution of how from one specific file, including .h, I would be able to know what the fuck, like, where this is. So I should just do the priority thing. Look at the same directory, look at the includes, and go through that. Don't be sorry, I think I understood everything you wrote. It's just that we're not smart enough for this, right? That's the issue here. We're not smart enough. And my issue now is how I want to handle all of this. And I think I'll just, like, I don't know, bite the bullet and those structs differently. Like on a whole different level without everything that was done before. So whenever we're in the loop, I guess I'll just sparse all the structs. I'll shove them in a big list. And leave it to be processed in single core mode. Or else my brain will leak. So let's just assume that we are able to... Give me a moment. As soon as we use human help, it doesn't work anymore. I don't want any of this. But, using previous location, that's not dumb at all. Not dumb at all. Okay, look, step one should be to be able to... Oh man, sorry, I'm just thinking this, I think. Okay, while parsing, we're going to put the tags into a big ass list, and this list is going to be put in a big dictionary, big dictionary, okay? And this dictionary is going to have a key. The key is going to be the file name, and we're going to be able to process this dictionary, list all the tags within it, and jump around in there. I don't know. We need to do something like this. This needs to exist. It would only be the first time. We have to do it manually. I understand what you mean. The problem is files move in the kernel. And if we don't have a solution that is like hard-coded, I just think that we're doing it the wrong way. I just don't like the idea of having to input something into the program or having a... Like, if there are like two egregious parts, we will hard code them, but I'm sure that just the rule that I have outlined is going to work. Good night, have a nice day. Bye-bye. Love you. I think Andrew is going too. So bye-bye you too. Maple Leafs, indeed. What's your rake joke? Rust, I know you. I know you're coming in with a joke. What's the joke? I'll cue you in the sound, okay? No joke? I'll whip Mozart. The joke. Go fuck yourself, okay? Okay? First of all, I'll joke on you. You thought so hard about the worst one in the pack, okay? We saw you overeating, okay? We saw you. Enough roast. Love you. I love you, okay? I'm memeing far too much. I'm memeing far too much. Alright. Alright, I'll just edit a few things. Okay, so the issue is right now, we're creating an array with all of our change in it, and at the end, we're putting that array inside of another array. We're going to now put the array inside of a dictionary, so we can keep track of what the fuck we're talking about. Yeah. Maybe. Yes. There's no maybe there. There's only yes. So let's do this. Wait a minute. I'm overthinking too much. I need to stop thinking. Brain needs to go. Be gone. Okay, now we're getting into bad design 101, okay? This is a deck. I'm so screwed. Why did I do this? This is so bad. Okay, we're bypassing this issue hard. Okay, we're bypassing this hard. All right. This is a dumb design. It's going to break for sure. So here is because I have a class that is type deck, that we increase things inside of the class in order to process them. This is no good. And I think that the magic happens somewhere in here, I guess. Oh man. Okay, so this is where we do the magical transfer. Oh, okay, it's fucked. It's not going to work the way that I want it to. My design is garbage. Okay. So when I'm coming from multi-thread, I'm copying the whole fucking class that I've made like a cheat code for earlier so that it doesn't copy everything. I'm adding it to a list, and then I'm processing the whole class. Like, I think we can see it at execute all. Yeah, okay. So I have a list of whole class that are the remote GPs. I go through them and I execute within them this execute command, which then does the work of adding things to my DB. So obviously this is unhinged. So I will probably need a step somewhere in there to, I don't know, put the tags aside and process them after. Yeah, that sounds like it. Okay, okay. Let's do something like it. So we have a main directory. I feel like I'm going to have to redo a bunch of shit. The more I'm thinking, the worse it gets. Okay. Okay. Getting triggered over here, but... Okay, screw this. So, if it's a new file... whoops. If it's a new file and we have tags... Yeah, let's cheat a little. So let's run... this... Whoops. Where am I? Okay. Let's run this. It will return our big array with a bunch of things. We should be able to do gp dot main dict. The key should be whatever's the name of the file that we're currently parsing. And we should equal whatever the name of the file we're currently parsing. Okay. So we're storing this somewhere else to be processed later. Let's do this for all of the others. Okay, so if a file is modified, do I even care for modification for now? No, let's not even think about it. Okay, let's just think about this golden solution. Okay. So now we need to find a way to merge all our main dict together whenever we process the change for everything else. And that's a little retarded, right? I shouldn't put that there. It should be after testing if there is in the first place any tags. We're going to rely on whatever I implemented for C tag because we're lazy. We're going to comment all that out. Yeah, that sounds doable. Okay. So let's go see the main code for this. Where is GP? Come here, GP. Okay, so whenever we do this, we should also pickle load. Well, first of all, this should look a little bit like this. Pickled GP equals pickle load. Here we go. So then we should be able to execute it. We should be able to do dot main dict and add it to our current main dict. How do we fuse main dict together? How do we fuse dictionaries together? Dictionary, Python. Let's do things in the main window. Okay. Dictionary, Python, merge. Merge two dictionaries. Thank Lord. Okay, sounds good to me. So we just pipe them. Oh yeah, normally we use update. Update sounds way safer. Piping the shit out of it? Sounds dumb. Okay. So we're going through everything in our pickle GP. We're updating the main GP. So that means that at the end, we probably need a new thing for definition handling tags. Here we go. Self, boom, boom, return. Okay, just to keep things clear and concise. We're going to run this. And we should have a big loop that says something like, while not GP main dict dot is empty. Is that something? Or empty? Just empty? That's a thing, right? We can check the length of oh, well. I guess 0 would be none too. I think. Who cares? Alright. So we're going to be able to remove one item at a time from the dictionary. And we handle it somehow in there with some magic. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think we're avoiding crisis right now. I think we are. Let me look at the chat. Oh, sorry, I just missed the last 10 minutes, but from reading, construct is an incomplete type pointer on a complete struct. So there is no header import. When some other file uses socket address from bind.h, it will need fully declare the struct. So you're looking at something that doesn't exist. Yes. I think that we come to an agreement. I'm assuming that there is some magic that Linux makes inside of the make file. And because of this, me looking at includes is absolutely useless. Like going into going into the includes in here is useless. Like looking at them serves no purpose. So this is why I should just scan the current directory and then scan the include. Because if I was not able to find myself the socket address definition, cannot really ask the compiler or syndex to do so. Right? It's only fair. So, okay. No, it won't be anywhere no matter where you search. It's dynamic depending on what uses bind.h. Well, that's just not true. Sophia, that's not true. Because if I look at socket address, there is a definition for it, right? This is the target. This is the definition for it. Not only is it the definition, but it is the right one, right? So my issue was piping the two together, linking them, knowing that this is the right one. But there doesn't seem to be any better way than what I'm currently doing. If I misunderstood you, tell me, okay? I am confused. I get what you're saying, but I would be very surprised if when looking at the code that handles this, if it could take something else than what is already defined. Right? Okay, let me say that differently. What would... Okay, there's no way that this can be anything, okay? There's no way that the connection to this can literally be anything. I understand that it's a pointer, and maybe this specific code doesn't care about it, but there are some underlying code that does care about it, right? Like okay, I understand that the devs of this could change this, and the prior code would probably run just fine. I get that. My problem is that there is still only one right answer. Right? Because if you were to set this to something else than what's inside of the include, it would die. It would not run with everything else. Like, I don't think that you can have competing definitions inside of your kernel. My issue here is that if I just pick at random, or the first one on top, if I add tool/fucker.h, like, that's clearly not the right one, right? But how do I know from, like, competing definition which one is the best? Besides going by location alone. Or maybe I'm overthinking this, and it's... maybe, you know what? Maybe the kernel dev are the most, okay, gender fluid, definition, pronouns wearing, trans, okay, everything. Put all the acronyms, okay? Put all the names. They're just fluid like that. They just... What struct should we use? Who cares? You can be whatever you want to be. Maybe. Like, it just doesn't fit to me. But, yeah. You can have a you can have a competing definition by using -i directories, but it is not the... But if it's not the import chain, it's coming from... I think you can't know purely from the header. You need to look at the C file. That's the one that's imported here. Good thing that you said join the stream 30 seconds ago, because I would have roasted your ass, because I would say, well, who the fuck is the .c for bind.h? But that's yeah. Sorry, typos. It's not in the import chain. It's coming from foundation headers or UAPI. Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly what you're saying, is you're saying the definition for this could be outside of the kernel, right? Could be outside of the source code of the channel, well, kernel. Is that the point that you're making? So if you feel. I'm waiting on the clearest no. Just be demolished. Because I'm not sure I'm getting it. Because to me it just makes sense that it would refer back. And it would not make sense if there was no strong definition to everything in the kernel. Maybe to the exception of tools, because tools will use generic, like C, libc headers, but the kernel won't, right? The kernel doesn't map to the C headers. You need to check the import, or are there multiple defs across the imports? Yes, this is my issue, okay? My issue is... I had a very good example, but I lost it. here's a bad one, but it works still. So I'm just explaining for oof software. And yeah, how do I know? Like, for example, here I have a struct file. How do I know which one is good? Obviously, it's the top one, right? We know. But how should I know, apart from their location, which one is the right one? And you can say, like, just follow the include, but in some cases, it doesn't look as clear as that, right? We went through the include trying to find where sock address would be defined, but I couldn't find it. I didn't check them all, but it took a long time. Okay, the outside was just an example, but what I mean is you don't find in the import chain, because it is coming from Linux/socket, which is available to everything. I don't disagree. Okay, I think that there's a misunderstanding here, okay? What I'm saying, okay? What I'm saying, let's open up a folder somewhere. Oh no, all my porn! No, okay, no, it's just a Linux kernel. Whoo, boy, whew, oh, that one was hard, okay? Whew. So, let's say, okay, I'm trying to know where the F is, like, this struck from, okay? So, if I need to know, who are you, Pikachu? Okay, woo. No, this one, okay. CLK, where is this defined? So, is there something I can run that will tell me CLK and that will mostly not fail? Or is it better that I just do the, okay, we have a struct here, let's check the direct include. Let's then check the directory that we're in, and at the very end, just check the freaking include folder as a whole, right? Is me going like that the best way to go about it, or is there another way, right? Because if location is the only way, we're not stopping our path and we're going location. But still it has to be included somewhere. No, the theory would be that makefiles would add some things, because if you have a kconfig in the way, right, the kernel has kconfig, the kconfig can kind of steer how the kernel gets compiled. So technically you could not include something inside of a file, but the kconfig itself would prevent you from not having included that earlier. Does that make sense? That's the idea, right? Or maybe in the makefile itself, it would include it, because I think that's a possibility. It's available because everything that gets compiled has access to the foundation headers or user API headers from user space. Okay, I think that nobody debates my current way of doing it, so I'll just resume. We're... Oof. IQ restored. I think in the makefile or compiler flag, you can only add include directories and modify the source something. I'm not sure about that. Yes, name. I agree with you. It's just that we need to design a whole new thing in order for this to work, right? Because when we parse a file and we... before, we were just parsing files individually, and we never needed order between them, right? So that was never a thing. But now we need to reference one file in another file in another. Like, we need some kind of order and reference between them. So that's the hard part. there are only two options. One, it's in the recursive include. Two, if it's not after properly checking, it's a foundational user. What I'm saying is to check the include recursively, and then when you don't find it for now, assume foundation. Okay, so if I understand correctly, look for the include, step 1. So look through the include. Step 2, look for shit, like at weird place. So the same directory that we're in currently, that type of thing. I think. And when I say include, I mean hashtag include at the start. Okay. Pound sign or whatever we call it. Okay. Makes sense. I'll just try to not have an infinite loop somewhere. So, yeah. Name I love you. Don't worry, I don't even know if I have full context. I'm so confused. Okay. Okay, let's just... Screw this, okay? Screw this. I ask LLM. Okay. That's the I love you, oof. Oof. That's the way, okay? That's the way. I asked an LLM, and apparently there's actually a flag to include files, as if that include was in the first line of the file. I don't like this. True. This sounds like the most kernel war crime ever. This is a violation. This shouldn't exist. I love it. We're probably going to need to learn it someday, but hey, who cares? Okay. All right. Order. Okay, let's stop with the jokes. Okay, so if we're parsing includes, okay, we need to have a list of the includes, we need to have a list of tags, and we have to deal with all that. So let's get started on that, right? So let's put inside of our new thingy here, somewhere, the list of includes. Okay, so for include. Okay, so we truly just have a raw list of include. That's great. So we're going to add this. Yeah, let's make this the worst thing ever. I'm doing things that are so disgusting. I hate myself. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we've got the include stored. Now we have the tags stored. The reason why I'm putting them in the tuple is because I want to be able to identify them, okay? That's the only reason here. Here we go. Easy. Music, come back. Okay. Oof. Software. So I guess you have to somehow recreate parse compiler flag to get those import as well, and also check auto-generated files. Yep, that's pretty much where we're... that's the end game, I guess, but I'll ignore it for now. But otherwise, walking recursively by location sounds good. That's the idea. Dumb question. It's never a dumb question, okay? So if you fail, you're clutching each time. Does cursor location file tell you the current file or the file the struct came from? It gives me the current file, but I'll run it, okay? I'll run it. There is also translation unit yet include. If you are not aware already. I am. Yeah, I am. Why shouldn't we use it, right? Why shouldn't we at least try? Oh, Lord. I deleted something. Something broke. Now my goat is gone, okay? Goat is dead. No goat. The goat's gone. Okay. Here we go. Faith restored. Yeah, we need to loop through this. Hi, Nigma. Exactly who I needed. We're going to die. We're so screwed. Alright. Oh my lord. Okay, let's just look what the F it does. First of all, this needs to go. This was some IIQ coding, okay? I'm so lazy. Okay, let's go. Did you find the problem from yesterday? Yep, all of that was solved. Does K develop as Python LSP? It has some equivalent of it. It does work, it's just very, very slow. So it kinda works. Okay, I just need to, like, find out to show the info. I asked ChatGPT, and it says that it will return the source file. Looks like a... Yeah, I don't believe it for a minute. Maybe it's, maybe it's confidently incorrect. It seems to... You know what? I would like to push back that bitch a couple of times, okay? When the... when the AI is incorrect, I should probably push. So we're just going to copy code from the AI, okay? So cursor location file for the struct itself. Why not? So kids dot kids is the cursor, so dot location, dot file. Okay, so we're going to have our answer on that front. Alright, let's just run this shit. Lol, don't worry, I have consumed caffeine a few minutes ago, so my autism won't pop off. Also, that's great to hear. Nightmare be gone. Love you, my friend. I love you a lot. Okay. So no, it points back to the same file. Because right now we're parsing bind.h, it returns bind.h. So, ain't working. I did not fix that correctly. We're starting to get a hand for, go fuck yourself, for Syndex. It's fun. File inclusions. In it. Ain't it fun? In it. Okay. Okay. So I guess it's, okay. The file inclusion class represents the inclusion of one source file by another via #include directive or as an input file in the translation unit. This class provides information about the included file, the location of the #include directive. Oh, okay, so that's what included, that's what locations say. And the def of the include file in the stack. Okay. So I guess we represent the include source file by another. This has provide information about the included file. The included file, the including file. Okay, so I guess source is what we want. Indeed, Merry Christmas, or not even the right day. I think it's the 25th, right? Does it show that I don't celebrate this? Merry Christmas, y'all, okay? Merry Christmas. We gotta be happy about it. For a lot of you, I bet, it means no work. That's great. That's always great. Give me that source. Wait for it. Okay, we don't have sockets in there. So this means that this would have been useless in our case. Okay. And I'm also very concerned by the fact that it tries to use the ASM from my main machine. Like, that's no good. So I should probably find a way to fix this. Maybe I auto do the ASM link. Inside of the include to prevent it from linking to my own system. Just to remove the ability to make this mistake. More Christmases for everybody. It's Merry Christmas over here. What date is Merry Christmas? Okay, what date is Christmas? It's the 25th. No? Not Chris, man. Christmas. December 25th. Annual festive commemoration of the birth of Jesus Christ. Holy. I'm over-indexing on that one, okay? Christmas, folks. Happy freaking holidays. Okay. I'm just being dumb, okay? Just being dumb. So yeah, we need to link the include directory to fix this. Okay, let's do this real quick. So whenever we clone it, we're going to run our trusty little command. Where is my git clone? Alright. So now we can do this monstrosity again. This. Nope. This. And it's going to be ln, comma, dash s, comma, we follow up by awesome dash, what the hell was it? The pain was real, okay, guys? Some generic, okay? Some generic, that's the thing. Okay. Okay, let's not forget the comma. Put that again. Okay. And then we put temp slash include slash asm. All right, we good? All right, I think that's fair. Okay, I think with that we're going to stop having the system link into it. 24 for Germany. 24 for Sweden. Fun fact, there are studies that found a correlation between swear word in the source code and code quality. So fuck that text is a sign for a good NLP project. Based. Yes, fuck that text for every output. It means that the output is fine. Here's... We're going back. Use Gemini, okay? Here's ChatGPT response regarding if it's a param or field. Oh, I'm going to kill myself. Why am I copying this? Okay, paste bin. Yeah, can I just, like, do this? Is this a thing? If you're analyzing use, resolve via the type. Cursor type. Get point. Ooh. Okay, that's kind of elegant. Okay, but the issue here is that the compiler does not even know about that file. Well, the compiler, Syndex. Right? So here we fix our issue, but unless there's some magical thing, it doesn't know that socket exists. Right? Socket.h is not in this list. So we can try. Not against a good old trying, but I think that our up to 100k in daily bonus and our 50 spins are not going to get us that far. Okay. Okay, I'll just copy this whole thing. The kids. Okay, let's delete this shit. Let's put a bunch of indentation. Cursor type. We're talking about kids. Wait, that's retarded. From param declare of... First of all, that's retarded because it's speaking as if it's inside a function. Param declare is for inside of a function. That's not the same thing that I'm pretty sure. Like, we can check with prior AST nightmare, but... Function declare... Or maybe we did not get into effing around with it. Well, but that's... we never get param declare related to a struct, so it's already confused. Okay. And it doesn't make sense because struct sock address is not a pointer in and of itself. Right? This is not a pointer. The pointer is the argument at the end. So it's kind of confused. But hey, let's try it on both ends. Okie-doke. Oof. Did you know that? I usually write self-deprecating things as comments, so I'm always learning. In fact, it's kind of the only reason I am ever written comments. No, I am not addicted. I'm not endorsing the ChatGPT response, FYI lol. I'm just super lost on how to do this natively from Syndex rather than having a recurse, the import yourself, super inefficient without caching. Yeah. I think we're going to have to do it ourselves and then, like, do some magical things. But, hey, who cares? Recent one is bigger. Yeah, I agree after your explanation. Okay, let's just take a look, right? So it has no idea. And how could it, right? That's the issue. Is it has no way of actually being able to. Because it's not in the list. So... I think that the recursive include thing is slightly dumb. Maybe we should just, like, ignore that part. And just go for the whole include. And the reason why I'm stating that is because I have a feeling that if there was a direct link, an easy link, inside of the include of our file, Syndex would know, right? Because we've given Syndex the tools to look inside of the include. So if it's unable to detect it itself, it means that we're probably talking about some kernel fuckery, right? So going recursively through all of the include is probably just a big waste of time, and just raw dogging it, probably the way. So whenever I do this, if I want to be efficient... No, sorry, I was about to say something dumb. What I said, pretty sure it's right, okay? So I'll just stick to it. You should utilize a tree. My friend, my brother in Christ, I'll be using a dictionary. But yes, I get what you're where you're going, but I think that this level of scanning is not needed. This year I delve deeper into math so I can code my own formula. I still have no idea how I ended there through logic. My friend, this is the TLDR of my life whenever I do some math. I have forgotten math since high school. And I had so much fun doing some math in high school. I loved math. But now I love meth, okay? This is... You've got the new Maple, okay? Somebody's going to take me seriously somehow. Well, what happened if two files at the same level include... Same lower level? Yeah, that's my issue here. I don't want to have to deal with include loops, with including things and all that. Doing that is probably going on a wrong path. I should just scan the whole include directory and go through that. That's probably... Because in a way it seems like... there's compiler fuckery over here, right? There is compiler fuckery. So what I could do is scan everything. Well, no, sorry. If we order thing correctly, when we're going to have an history, okay, we're going one, look at history, okay? So where was the thing last version? So that should be a thing that we check, right? If Syndex is not able to tell us where the thing is, well, look at prior things. Number two, we will still need a way to check with Syndex if it's inside of it. We're going to test that later. Who cares? Okay, so check within Syndex, then check prior version, then check at random the include folder, then check within the... I don't know if we should put a higher priority on the same directory that the thing is in, because the way that the makefile work in the kernel is they pretty much just say compile the whole directory and live with it. Like, we can go look at it. Yeah, they pretty much just... Let's just flatten that shit out into one big module, my friend. That's the idea, okay? And that's the TLDR of all other makefile. Yes, I am, Sophiophil. I am passing a compiler flag. I can show it to you. Are you on Discord, Sophiophil? I can send you the code if you want. What about trying to get a compiler flag and adding the auto-generated auto-include stuff to the library thingy you're using so it has all the definition? Well, technically, I already have the include directory, so that's already resolved. And I have the file, the directory where the file is in. So those two things, we can get include from there, right? The translation unit is already able to do that on its own. You're pressing up on create it. Just suggesting for it helps having the code. Yes. If anybody needs the code, you know what? It will be on Discord, okay? Okay, main English channel, Discord. If anybody is rage quitting over here, trying to understand what the fuck I'm talking about, here we go. It's dumped in the Discord, okay? It's okay. It's okay. I'll send it back whenever somebody needs it. And I'm also not your compiler. Based. Not being a compiler. Well, I have one, but I ain't updating it. Nice way to increase your Discord membership. You got me. Okay. Can't wait for the golden meme. It works on my machine. Base. For now, that's pretty much it, because you have to set up a couple of things for it to work on your machine. But, I mean, if you have shared memory, 64 gigabit, and a Linux Git that's called /Linux in the same directory, you're in luck. And maybe there's some bypass that you need to do for the shared memory thingy. Set up a couple of things. 1,026 files were not found. Based. Pure confusion. Okay. Is there any way that we can abuse the translation unit to make it, like, recursively go through the index? Gemini, come here. I'll put it all in caps. Hi, I'm using... Python. If it answers in caps, I'm dying, okay? I'm using Python with syntax clang to parse the Linux kernel. Whenever I am parsing a .h file, I find myself limited in the amount of only one M, right? Amount of jumps the include can get. I already set my include to the include directory and the directory of the file itself, but I would like to also be able to search within the files included within the included files. Thanks. Goddamn. Alright, we're good. Also threaten the chat box for extra good result. I also say thanks, okay? I'm gonna go more passive right now, battling 0 today. Based. I hope it answers in caps so much. Have you considered your reasoning for abuse? Sometimes abusing anything is usually bad for both ends. That's why I say thanks a lot. Don't think he meant abuse. Oh, okay, because I said we're going to abuse Gemini. Oh, not abuse in that sense. The tism is coming out, my friend. Same, it costs money. I know it does. I'm a big capitalist guy, okay? I don't give a shit. I pay for it. I'm happy. Okay, this sounds like a classic. Includes bad resolution rather than an hard limit on jumps. I believe me, brother, there is a limit. When libclang parses exactly like a compiler, I disagree, but okay. If a file, bitch, shut up. It will fail in file. Okay. The root cause. Missing search path. You mentioned you added include directory and the directory of the file. For the Linux kernel, this is not enough. If you are parsing include Linux fs, it might include Assam Atomic. Hahaha, I got you, bitch. I already fixed that one. That file's even harsh. Okay, see it there. Add all kernel include path. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, maybe we're cooking. Oh, it asked me to generate some shit. That's where we're going to fail. Okay, those two are great ideas. Well, maybe this one is not great for tools. And the UAPI might be an idea. Or is UAPI like the speak, Maple, speak. Is the UAPI just the generated header? Oh, not even. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Okay, I'll read the comments a bit. That's why I have Windows 11 VM that streams on Only Nightmare directly into Microsoft server. You want my data? Sure, my pleasure. Okay, that reference is I don't know. I don't know if I want to use the real words for this one. Or I can do the voice at least. Microsoft servers glow in the dark. If you see them, you just run them over. The fact that you use server, that one is good. Okay, that one is good. Okay, skip the generated, but at least add the rest. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll ask the rest. But this one I think it will screw with whatever we're doing. Because kernel tools might not like it. But hey, what am I gonna do? All right, let's violate the order. Order. We're having fun, okay? We're having fun. Why am I copying this? This is like brain dead. I don't know how to write UAPI. Okay. Maybe I don't. Okay, and let's fix the UAPI thingy when we copy over the thing. So, am I being ableist? All right, how about we push that out? UEPI is user space version, user. Just decompile whatever you want. True, just make it way more complicated. Oh, that it's okay. It's in there for sure. Where is socket? It's going to socket me dry, okay? Where is socket? I'm in for socket. Where's my socket? If socket's not in there, no way. First of all, go fuck yourself. That's not true. And socket is in there. I just haven't seen it. It's somewhere, okay? Okay. Nigma, you are built different, okay? Oh. What's the point? Okay, I'm missing something. First of all, I just need to check something, okay? I need to check something. Where is shook my head or whatever? Dev, SMH. Okay, dev, SMH. Oh no, my code is good. It cleared it. Okay, okay, I get it, I get it. Won't be able to look at it. Okay with me. I'll look into it there. Okay. It's all going to be okay. There is no UAPI for this version. We're good. We're so good. Okay. Nigma tagging. Nigma, you're tagging yourself. I love it. Okay, that one is good. I did not expect that. Okay, so no no UAPI. Okay. Target. Okay. Okay. Okay, what the fuck is going on? Why is it not in there? Okay, I'll go beat the AI some more, okay? We gotta beat on that AI. It's for sure because of some generated shit. You know what? I'll add the architecture and it will work. Look at this. Look at this. We add the architecture and it will just work. Trademark. God damn, it's snowing outside? Big time. Oh, Lord. Okay. Okay. If it doesn't work, war crime, okay? Oh. We've got some cool errors. And we know from experience, don't read that shit. No. 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 What? There's no way. Oh, it's Kernel Sorcery. You will record it. Sounds like it. Um. Okay. Well, it's the truth is it where Kishanker has vulnerability. I don't disagree, Enigma. I don't disagree. What does TU diagnosis say? That's a great question. You know what? You're way smarter than I am. I'll just look into it. Okay, I'll finish the comments and then I'll check. Does it say missing some include, even though parsing was okay? Is your copy paste in some command correct? Source for your question, source 3R. Just going to call you that now. Okay, source 3R. Yes, it's just that U API doesn't exist in version 3, which is the version that we're parsing. And everything that I checked was with version 3. Okay, so it's already taken care of. Okay, declaration of struct, complete definitions for struct. So it yells about structs a couple of times. Page size macro redefine. Type defs. Incompatible pointer to integer conversion. Okay. Address of stack memory file. Standardarg.h. File not found. Line 12. Oh, wow, that's some precision. We've parsed half the kernel and you're line 12. All right. So, but like standard arg is that's libc, no? Like there's no file called standardarg.h in the kernel. Maple's making shit up. Well, no. Oh. Okay, it's searching through my whole thing. It's here, okay? Oh. Okay. And why did I split things? Why? Where are you, Pikachu? You have not helped me. Include /Linux. What the fuck? How couldn't you find it? Okay, in tools, no libc. All right. MB, where are you? Okay. Thanks, and should read Sorcerer. Okay, yeah, that I. Oh my god, my brain died reading this, but yes, Sorcerer, that's great. It works on my machine. Yes. Okay, so there is a file. Okay, just to end the gaslighting, okay? I love it. Where are you, Standard H? What? Alphabet is hard. STDR. Okay, STD. Not the right thing. STD. Well, it doesn't exist, bitch. Not in that version, at least. Oh my lord, Sophiaphil, thank you. Do you know that you're awesome? Do you know? Do you feel Oh, I'm dumb. Do you know that you're liked, okay? Oh, that was bad, okay? I don't know if that helped. Okay, I'll make it more concise. What the hell? Oh no. It's because it's too big. Line.file. What the hell? Alright, we in. Boom, boom. So Fulfill is indeed awesome, because at least they can read Python syntax. Based. Okay. Well, this is unreadable. Huh? Okay. In kernel.h. That sounds like the worst place to fail. They're not lying. So you're telling me that old kernel were linking with C in that way. But let's just remove the bullshit. This won't return to the kernel, okay? Standard arg won't give a socket. That's for sure, right? Because it's not part of the kernel. Shit. I love you, Enigma, okay? You're not a disappointment. You are truly yourself, and I love it, okay? The tree doesn't matter! Enigma, no! Love our dicks. I don't know, I love you. We're ready to fuck, okay? That's the thing. Threes are awesome, dude. Okay, no double meaning for trees, okay? Don't pull a Ned on me, okay? Don't pull a Ned. Okay. So TLDR of what we've learned. First of all, we now have the right setting for Syndex. Good lord. Second of all, shit is fucked. Because even with it, it doesn't work. There's some kernel magic at play, okay? Kernel magic. Oh, God knows. We're going to need to get into it. We know. Is it in K build? No. Of course not. It's some kernel magic elsewhere. I'll eat a ton of glass. Okay, so we have at least Syndex well configured. That's already a leap forward. We have a start for being able to process tags. And having reference to files. That's good too. BSP trees. What the fuck does that mean? Is this a joke? Binary space partitioning trees are hierarchical tree structures. Data structures use recursively divide a space into convex region, primarily for application in computer graphics and computational geometry. What the fuck is going on? Did Maple just insult us? I don't know. I don't know what our relationship is at this point, okay? I don't know. I breathe. I insult you. I don't insult you. I love you. Sex or love. Mostly sex. I don't know. Nigma. If you can trace kernel.h, that's definitely a problem to parse the kernel. No, 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 no. You have it the wrong way, okay? So the error that we're having, it says that stdarg is not found. That does not mean that it crashes. It still goes forward, right? It still continues to parse. It doesn't just do like, and then I don't know if that's the case. That's not my understanding, okay? The kids, okay? We gotta take the kids. Okay, but look, how can I prove this? How can I prove that it doesn't kill itself at this point? I am not suicidal. Okay, like as I'm bug.h, let's just see if these are included in the output. Right? Let's put that here. Let's put that here. Oh, fuck off. Right, so we're searching for log2, Linux log2. Do we have it? Oh, no, we don't. Oh, no, we don't. Womp womp, you're freaking right. Holy, it stops there. Oh no, that's bad. Well, that's good, but... yeah, advertising free. Also, it can still complete guaranteeing the translation without failing all the trace all included. Yeah, I agree, but I think that it would have... I thought that it would have just ignored the line, not killed the whole, like, idea of continuing on this file. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that just by killing the no libc part, right? It's just that this feels bad, right? Okay. Okay, okay. Let's just check the output again. I'm so desperate to see socket.h, okay? I am ready. Make me coom. I need socket. No socket. Okay. No cooming. Okay. Back to the drawing board. Let's just see what the hef this is. Okay, so that's all the same thing. Incompatible redeclaration. Yeah, so we're going to have a bunch of issues because we're using like the standard thing. It's probably crashing at this point. Yup. It's giga dead. Isn't there a no libc thing that we saw earlier that we could take advantage of? Like in tool. No. Okay, no. That's bad. Oh, maybe in scripts. Ugh. 99% of the population wouldn't understand the insult here. I would recommend a relationship tree then. Oh, okay, that was a... okay. Include. No, but that's the name. I love you. Just include it. Fuck it. This file is the problem, okay? Just include that one file. Just that sounds like fast forward like a month, we've got 6,000 files just in the include. We just need one more. Based. But if it's trace increasing graph with compilation, then if it can't use linux.h, maybe it just continues with incomplete tracing. I'm clueless right now. Well, okay, so Phil, the issue that we're having is that we don't have the tools that make has, and that's our fuck up here. And also probably we have a libc version that is so new that version 3 is like dying over here. Oh, I want a sample. Give me a sample. No, okay. And there's probably something very like simple that we're just very dumb about. That's so unhinged. It breaks at this point. It's probably behind one of these things that we can like. We're just one include file away, okay? Okay. Okay. By default, does it just go through all the if defs? Does it like just say yes to all of them? Could it be our issue? Because we would want it to say yes to all, right? I'm just assuming here. Well, it would, right? Because if it didn't, no, we don't have an if def here. Oh yes, we have. We have an if not defined. Oh, it's not an if def, I guess. Hmm. Well, we can test by knowing if this is a file that is a part of our include. Maybe Maple is cooking. Oh. I think that we're cooking. How do we make it so that it always answers yes to if defs? Yes, I'm cooking so hard. We're ending up with pulverized maple, okay? We're just pulverizing. Caps again. If I want my GCC, no, CLang compiler to say yes to all, well, true to all if def, what option should I use? Think dash D. Right. Think about the D. Think I'm cooking. I'm cooking. We're cookerino. There is no single compiler. Go fuck yourself. This is impossible because it would create logical contradiction. For example, go fuck yourself, bro. No. You know what's the best next solution? Oh, maybe it gives us. Eh. I think we're just going to have to, like, bite the bullet and... If you want to see the code that was, skip all the code. All of it. Oh. There's a way to bypass this in the kernel, that's for sure. But we're probably going to need to compile something. It's because this will fuck us over so much. Because we're going to end up with a bunch of skipped code that won't work and shit. That won't have been parsed correctly. This is my answer, okay? I need to close some windows. Based. Oof. Replace if death. Let's fuck over it even more. I've said over the whole deer. What's wrong with using autoconf? I'm not a kernel person. Um, yeah, my issue here is that I'm trying to not touch the kernel. And as soon as I'm starting to like do the make command, we might be effing around with some things. Like we're assuming that that doing make doesn't change the kernel in any way for some of the things, but who knows, right? Who knows? So yeah. But I think that what I'll do is I'll generate one kernel, I'll run that thing, I'll copy over the file onto a new version, or I'll just include that file onto the new version. And that should be it. That should probably work. I just love the idea. I'm sorry, it's stuck in my brain. Just include it. Oh, okay. 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 And we also have the issue where I don't parse what was skipped, right? Yeah, we're getting into retarded levels here. I am just going to do a make on another kernel. Alright. It's getting late in here, so I'll get the F out. We're going to get this shit working tomorrow. Was fun, okay? Was fun. So, yeah. Some main command create some generate import headers. I agree with that stuff you feel, but I think that for now we're just going to do make and into one clone kernel, and then clone another time, and get and use the autocomp from the other kernel. Try to run that way, and if that doesn't work, we're going to fuck around. Okay, we're we're becoming unhinged. That's going to be the strat. We might like another strategy might just be to go through the kernel, get all of the kconfigs, and like try multiple steps, but that sounds unhinged. So yeah, we're going to have fun with that. So with that said, good night, folks. Love you all, and we're seeing ourselves tomorrow if you have times. Okay, I know it's Christmas times, not everybody's out, but hey, have fun out. Okay, bye bye.